and welcome to RPG Reanimators. It's a live actual play. Today we'll be playing Presence, a Delta Green scenario. With me, we have Lex, Alex, and Sawyer, and they will be playing V-Cell. So let's get started with some content warnings with this one. This one, as far as Delta Green goes, is not too bad. Um, Lex will have an animal. He'll have a dog. We'll get to that a little bit more later, but rest assured the dog will be fine. That is a line I won't cross. Domesticated animals will be fine. Um, Beyond that, typical violence, medical concerns, but not too much beyond that. Um, any questions? If there's any issue, feel free to X card in the chat, anything like that. Agents have played before, so we're all used to playing with each other. Okay. In that case, we're going to cut to 10 o'clock Eastern time. Your agents are doing something when they're going to get a priority message from, well, the cell above you. I suppose that would be cell U in this case. You guys are a little bit low on the pecking order. So let's start with Agent Victory. What are you doing at 10 o'clock Eastern time?
I'm honestly just working because ever since my son's death, I have been throwing myself into my work as my only source of distraction.
Hmm.
Yeah. He's at the office. He's a sweaty guy. So he's in Virginia right now at the DEA headquarters and he's sweating. He's got the buzz cut going. He's in his mid 40s and he's just going through paperwork because that's what distracts him.
Yeah, that's a good call. We'll say that this is set during summer. So it is a hot summer. So you're sweaty outside, you're sweaty inside. I love it. So what does your message look like when you get a call from UCell?
Well, I suppose that in his paperwork, something like the secretary just
Hmm.
delivers it to his desk. He's gonna treat it like any other piece of mail where he opens it up with a letter opener. But as soon as he grabs it, he sees that seal, a seal with a green triangle, and that makes him pause because this is it. This is the next chance that he gets to really try and protect something dear.
Excellent. And inside the letter, all you find is a address. It is the Customs and Border Patrol Office F at Bradley International Airport. It's kind of north of Hartford, Connecticut, and it just has a time 4 p.m.
Okay, I'll today.
today.
Okay, then I will get a flight, a 2-hour flight using the
Okay.
emergency fund I have. Now, would I alert the rest of my cell, or am I
Yeah,
assuming?
we'll say that you can be the alert kind of chain of command there. Victory is the one that gets the message from Agent Uvula. Uh,
It's
that little dangly thing. He's a weirdo.
God, I
Um,
hate that guy.
yeah. Yeah, you get the message from him, and you would be expected to contact your fellow teammates. What do you tell your work?
I have to take emergency leave, citing the family issues that I've been going through, and I don't think they're gonna have pushback because my
Hmm.
son recently passed away. So,
Yeah, I think that makes sense, and they probably give you the pat on the back. You've probably had kind of a light caseload for a little
yeah,
bit, just because they don't want to stress you.
right.
All
So in
right.
that case, I'd head home, get my go bag. I'd pry up one of the floorboards where I have that burner phone with the battery
Hmm.
removed, plop a new battery in, and I will send basically a text message that would make something like a light blink, maybe a router blink in the other agents' homes,
All
and
right.
then send them that address.
Nice. Let's go to Agent Valve. It's a little after 10 in the morning at this point, and you get a blink. What are you doing? What does it look like?
Yeah, since it's the summer, he's probably working in his office at home. The lab's not being used nearly as much. So he sees the blink and responds to that whatever way. Do I get an address like on my phone? Or
I would
yeah,
say so, sure.
Yeah.
yeah. So I get that and then I grab a um field kit, which just has some basic supplies in it, probably all in like a milk crate or something. He's not that
Mhm.
good at packing. And a decent sized, fairly ornate wooden box. Um, and he puts that in his car as well. It's a
Nice.
surprise tool that'll help us later.
And do you have to sign out of classes or anything? Because you work at Yale, right?
Yeah, I work alongside of my estranged son. We don't get along at all anymore, so I'm gonna just take time off, and he's probably gonna have to pick up the slack again, which he hates.
All right. You know what? First roll of the game. Can you roll me your bond score with your son?
My bond score, it's
Yes.
0. Like
Oh,
we are
okay.
cut off.
So yeah. Yeah, he's
It's permanent silent treatment.
No, I
yeah. Yeah, if you text him, you probably get back just the dreaded K.
yeah, no, it's like that.
Do you look at the phone like how long has it been since the last text message between the two of you?
Um, Whenever the last operation was,
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
like I mean, this probably I've probably texted him like pictures of us, like pictures of him as a kid and stuff, and he just
hmm
doesn't respond.
Oh, brutal. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. And then you and your special box for later get headed out to the Bradley International Airport. Agent
Oh,
Velocity. Oh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
go ahead.
drive too.
Okay, nice. Agent Velocity. What do you do when you get the message?
I think at this point, Velocity may have been, I'm imagining finishing up with a run with my furry son, named Boris. They are very much not estranged or deceased from me. And yeah, I think that maybe finishing up a run, he lives and works in DC, typically is used to having to travel in and around just wherever he's needed. Working with ATF, he's typically tasked with going on active kidnapping or human trafficking investigations, taking Boris with him. And I think that it might be feasible to have some precautions in place to say, oh, I'm on this case.
hmm
So maybe it's enough to tap on someone that maybe I know there is Agent Xenon within the ATF as well to say, hey, I'm going to need you to task me on something. I have an appointment.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. I think you know from your previous arrangement that a few days is not really a problem for Boris. With the agent Xenon that you have, you can make that work. You're a little worried if they start asking too many questions, but so far you've gotten lucky. And what kind of dog is Agent Boris?
And if you have any good V names for a dog agent besides Very Good Boy,
Both.
um, Wolfie, uh, but
That's pretty cool, Wolf. Yeah.
he's definitely going to be a German Shepherd.
Okay, very nice. So how are you getting to the airport?
Oh, absolutely just taking the airplane. That's as a federal agent, it's enough that I can at least have a
We can check
sidearm.
our guns, yeah.
Yeah, bring
hmm
Boris with me. Everything's good there.
Excellent. And one of you is driving, so that is no problem. And I think you are all located close enough that arriving on time to this is not really a problem. Uh, when you enter the room, you can see it's just a very generic sort of meeting room. It's got the whiteboard set up, a small table, and out there, and you actually do find as you arrive that there is a woman there. She's You think maybe age 50 something. She's wearing a gray business suit, and beyond that, very nondescript. Maybe like a little like could use a little bit of hair dye to just to cut to catch up to what they were doing before. Um, that said, Agent Victory, you're a DEA agent.
Yeah. Do
You
I
pretty
recognize her?
quickly, no,
Oh,
you don't,
that'd be
but you
embarrassing.
recognize her habits. Um, she's kind of got a little bit of a nervous tints to her. She's got very small pupils. You are noticing signs as she's sweating of opioid use.
Yeah, I do have pharmacy of 70. So I'm gonna hold my tongue.
Mhm. Uh, and she'll wait for the three of you there. Do you guys greet each other? A couple of you have been on uh, operations before.
Yeah, definitely
Yeah, I'll
go find
say,
victory.
Agent Valve, how the hell are you? You know, I
Yeah,
ha always hate to see you again.
no, like good. Good under any other circumstance.
And then I will pet the dog. I will pet Boris if permitted. Oh, he's muted.
Well, he's out. Boris went inside first, and you just see Velocity talking to someone outside.
He bristles a little bit, but then I kind of give him a little pat on the side of his head and he lets himself be pet. He's like, you shouldn't
Ooh.
do that to service animals.
Well, I've seen what Boris can do, so I will keep that in mind. But
I'm hoping you gave the dog a cover story too.
no, but
Fake
always
name.
good to see you as well, Velocity.
Yeah, same to you. Hopefully this will be a quick one.
I How long has it been? 5 years since the last one?
Yeah, I think so. Don't you think? I think about five.
Very nice. And kind of you see this woman, she's kind of like scratching a little bit as she finally goes, "Okay, that's enough. We're kind of on the clock. I take it you three are it for the cell. I
Yes,
know sometimes people come up with four people cells, which is not
that's
Our
ridiculous.
technically
fourth
shouldn't
is
be
here.
done.
Thank you.
Yes, that's.
This is how it's done.
I'll be honest, this is the first time I've seen a dog on one of these, but best of luck. Might actually be useful in this case. Um, all right, our friends at we received information about a strange possible instance of something strange going on. Um, and she slides a uh, like a kind of map across the table that I'll get to you. Um, our friends at the NSA noticed something strange last night. A There was a watch, like one of those smart watches that you have. Um, got a text message at 2:03 a.m. In Alabama. And then at 3:07, it got another text in Vermont. It was flagged because that's interesting. They look out for that sort of thing. What really made people stand up and notice is that at 7:36 this morning, a golfer at the Stratton Mountain Golf Course found a distraught-looking woman wandering around the course. She's been taken to Grace Cottage Family Health and Hospital in Townsend, Virginia, or Vermont, sorry, um, at about 9-ish this morning. This girl, she's about 19 years old, she is Robin Bullock, and she pulls out a uh, kind of file folder. They're very generic. I have her driver's license, photo, vehicle registration, social media handles, names of immediate relatives, social security number, tax returns. This is what we could get for this. And I want you three to figure out if something weird happened last night. This
And
is the
your
time you can ask
friends.
questions.
All right,
Yes.
first of all, what do we refer to you as?
Um, Jeepers. Agent Jeepers.
Hey, Agent Jeepers. Um, so this is not Uvula, that creep.
No, I'm sorry. I was brought in as a I, I've done this sort of thing before for Homeland. You understand?
Yeah. Our friends at the NSA, they have higher tech than we have available, but were they
Yes.
able to confirm that it was not a glitch with the whole
From what we have seen, yes, it is not a glitch. Sh the smartwatch still registers as being at the hospital now when pinged that Robin is at. And from what we could tell, unless she got on a extremely fast jet plane to make that transition, which we don't think happened, there's no way she could have gone from Birmingham, Alabama to Vermont.
So she's an Alabama resident.
Correct. Yes.
Any,
She lives in a suburb outside of Birmingham.
I'm gonna look through the file of the family. Any of them live in Vermont?
No, none of them live in Vermont. They
Okay.
all appear to live. You see that she has a father, Raymond, a mother, Victoria, and two sisters, Emily and Autumn. Uh, one older, looks like Emily is 22, Autumn is 16, and Robin, the one in question, is 19.
she has no connections to Vermont. Nothing.
Other than traveling through here, just for vacation, none
Right.
that I have seen.
So
If you go through her social media, you might see some photos she took here.
yeah, we'll do that. Um, how do you want us to contact you after we find out if something's weird?
Um, Here is a burner phone number. Obviously, she gives you a contact information for her. Um, if there is nothing strange going on, that's great. I would be very happy for that. Um, Let me know if there's something more to this. Let me know. I I, I need to be in the know on this. I
Hmm.
do have bad news though.
What's the bad news?
This all happened this morning. I have no cover for any of you. If you can figure out some federal crime that you can get on the records for to be investigating this, that's great. Otherwise, you're on your own.
Yeah, I can fabricate something pretty easily. I'm thinking the drug angle because she was disorientated when she came out onto that golf course, right? So
Yeah,
we're
read my mind.
investigating.
Human trafficking,
Of course.
easy
Mhm.
enough.
And
You say drug angle and you can kind of recognize her flinch a little bit at that. Yes, that's not a bad idea.
I'm primarily a chemist, so I can talk my way into it, into being an expert.
There you go. So we're just a
Excellent.
private task force team. If you are able to, if we have friends at the NSA, if are they able to provide some cover identities by the end of the day?
Um, I can ask. They're not exactly my friends, if you catch my meaning.
Yes. But should we contact you with any requests for supplies, or is this on-site procurement?
You default to on-site just due to the amount of time we have.
Okay.
I can do my best to help. I am obviously here. The hospital is only about 2 hours of a drive from here, so if there's something you feel you need, I can start to procure it while you're out in the field.
All right, let's go. We'll contact you if anything comes up, Jeepers.
Yeah. Yes. You see it kind of takes her a second to respond to Jeepers because she like kind of just threw it out there without thinking
I'm gonna
about it.
call her phone, burn her phone right now to see if it's even like good.
Yeah, it
Okay,
rings. Yeah, and
so
she's
now you have my number. I'll use as an
mm,
excuse.
yeah, good thinking. Any questions from you two? She,
Um,
yeah, go ahead.
no, but I'm just gonna look at the make and model of her car if she has one. The missing uh girl,
Oh,
that is.
yes. You look that up. I can get that for you in just a second.
Okay.
It looks to be a Nissan Altima, a red. Agent Velocity, anything from you?
Nothing that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm assuming Agent Jeepers wasn't capable of procuring anything from the victim's house that I could try and use with Boris to catch a scent. So there's not too much that I can do till I get there.
No, that is correct. This is, um, we are moving fast. Honestly, she kind of turns. I'm really hoping that this is one of the few times we're ahead of the ball. If we maybe we can catch this early, whatever the heck happened, if anything happened. All right, good luck. And she does let you know that she has hosted this office for 36 hours. So this can also be a meeting place if you need a spot.
Hmm.
Okay, you got it. I think we should start driving to that town where the hospital is.
Yeah.
And while that's happening, I've got my work laptop.
Okay.
I'm gonna try, or I've got my credentials or whatnot. I'm gonna try and fabricate a link to an existing human struggling slash drug ring.
Nice. Yeah, roll a bureaucracy
All
check.
right.
Is there any way that I could try and assist with that as ATF for some kind of a cross task
Oh yeah,
force?
this is a
Yeah,
cross
yeah.
task force.
I'll
I,
uh I'll allow that if you want to sign off.
So
Valve, what were you
I'll get
thinking?
I'll just drive.
I
yeah,
love it.
Val will
Uh
drive, Boris
t
gets shotgun as usual.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
take a plus 10 on it.
I'll take a plus 10. Hell yeah. I needed it. So I got a 65 out of 70 now because of the
Okay, nice. Nice.
No,
that
Yes.
it's
was
cartel. T,
ah
cartel.
those are the guys that peel your faces off, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Mhm. Yeah, I like it. And you have a lot of information about her, so between the two of you, you can work up a case that you are working, and you would get showing my expertise with all things. You get documentation that you would be able to show off to people to kind of go with we're with the DEA.
This is
And
awesome. Excellent. Meanwhile, while I'm doing that with Velocity, could Velocity like look through, just comb the socials, comb
Sure.
the information that we already have?
Yeah.
Maybe there's
sure.
something we missed.
Yeah, go ahead and do a search roll.
Okay. Uh, that is a 53 under 60.
Okay.
Oh,
Uh
no. Yes, no, 60. Sorry.
okay.
We're good.
Woo!
You have a quite a good search as you're starting to look through this, and you have 2 hours. Unfortunately, she is a kind of habitual photo taker, so there's a lot that you're going to end up sifting through. But what you are seeing is starting to paint a picture of a 19-year-old going to college, just finishing up high school, starting to head out. There are pictures of her partying a fair bit, which you know, judgment one way or the other. You uh again with kind of your history would recognize that in some of the partying pictures it looks like there might be illicit substances. You think maybe acid, marijuana, that sort of thing, kind of just party drugs. Um Beyond that, She looks like she likes to travel. You can see some pictures of her with her family going out and about. You see them in some photos from Vermont with them just in the forest. Looks like they were hiking around. Just three happy daughters and two happy parents. Um, and you do notice is your last thing. There is some references to a bomb, bell, and shadow, or BAM. Let me make sure I'm spelling that right. But it appears to be some kind of online group. Uh, it's BHAM, Bell and Shadow. So probably Birmingham is kind of your thought process there. But it is not a community that you see records for. It's probably like a forum or something. So it is not part of the packet you have.
As we're driving, I'd like to bring up the fact that let's say teleportation's real, because that might be the one way that she's getting from one place to another. And the only thing that allowed us to track her is her smartwatch. Maybe we should pick up a charger for it just in case. Have her plug that in while
Hmm.
we're talking to her.
In case she bounces again.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be smart. I doubt she has a charger on her.
right. It's probably back in Alabama, to be honest, and we don't know how long the battery life of those things last. So I don't think it'll hurt to just pick up a charger on the way there. We can look up the make and model of the smartwatch because I'm assuming we got that. Um,
Um, I don't know. I'll say you did just because
okay,
it's not.
Well, I'm assuming even
Yeah,
if it's an Apple Watch, that's the same thing for each of them. And
right.
like going
that's
to a gas
true.
station, just pick up
Yeah,
an Apple and Android, like the Samsung smartwatch
yeah.
charger.
Mhm.
You can grab a few chargers easy and
Yeah,
you
let's
you
Mhm.
know
just
you'll have it.
do that
Grab
just in case. Just
Also
in
grab
case.
some gas station hot dogs.
God, I can't believe you eat those. I mean, Boris, I
Boris
understand.
whines a little bit as you start downing the first gas station hot dog.
Oh,
I said I
God.
wouldn't allow harm to animals in these scenarios.
Ooh,
No, everybody loves a good gas station hot dog. Come on.
I am so against this.
Yep.
You
Chomps it
disgust me,
down.
Valve.
In our line of work,
I know.
this is what
Sometimes we pick up
disgusts you.
strange sometimes we pick up strange habits.
Hey,
The-
there is water bottles in the trunk for boys.
All right.
I might have some dog treats back there from my dog at home.
I
All
like it.
right, Glizzy Gladiator, take us away.
Yeah, these are like roll me luck, Agent Valve, just
Oh
Okay.
kicks and
God.
giggles.
Oh
I
God.
have to hit up another gas station or rest stop.
Roll con times five.
91.
Okay.
Fuck.
Um, they've been rotating for a while, so it's not like you're not running for the bathroom, but there is a little bit of like, I don't know if I should have done that.
You were debating between gas station hot dogs or jerky, and you kind of got a little column A, little column B.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
So
God.
no technical effects, but just kind of keep that in the back of your
No
mind. Just
no fumble.
you are heading to a hospital if things get worse. But after about 2 hours, you guys just took the interstate. It's pretty much straight there. You do arrive at Grace Cottage Hospital. It is a small, kind of out of the way rural hospital. It looks like, as you pull into the lot, mm, maybe staff size of about 40, like maybe 10 people working at a time is kind of your gut feel. So this is not like a super bustling spot. You think when you go in, probably everybody will know the patient at some level, right?
Hmm.
It's not that big.
Are there police cars or any other lo- uh,
Oh.
official looking cars out front already?
Um, you look around, you do not see a police car. You do know from the kind of what they said is that there would probably be somebody that went and picked her up. Some what's the word I'm looking for? Detective? Basically, detective. Um,
I think
but you don't see them there. Patrolman. There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
as we're pulling into the parking lot, I think we're finalizing plans. I think I'm just gonna have to use my cover. I'm not gonna use a cover. I'm just gonna use my actual DEA identity to give it legitimacy. You're welcome to fabricate whatever, but
No, I think that that works. And in one of the bags that I had packed as the carry-on is I have Boris's Kevlar bulletproof doggy vest that has ATF along the back of it. It's
Mm.
okay.
not subtle, but it is for protection. That I think that gives a lot more credence to just check in on missing persons, people showing up across state lines. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
So are you gonna be using your actual name?
Yeah, I won't be using a cover either.
What's your name?
Do what? My name is Daryl Thompson.
Daryl Thompson.
Daryl Thompson. Damn it,
I
Daryl.
I may just kind of walk in. Like, it's not like there's someone at the door checking ID.
Right,
And because
right.
there's no law enforcement here, I might just walk in and, follow them, but not act too official.
Uh, yeah, if you look into, you can see there's like a reception desk like you'd normally have there, so they'd probably have you check in before you do anything. But yeah, you don't see anybody like standing outside the door, standing watch or anything. So it sounds like Victory and Velocity are going in just as they are, and Valve, you're heading in with the hope that they don't ask for credentials at the moment. Uh, Sitting behind the desk, you see a older woman as well, blonde hair. Looks like she's been there for a while, and she looks up. Yes, can I help you?
I take off my reflective runner's glasses that do like the wrap around, and there's very clearly like tan lines on this part of my eyes. And taking them off, kind of blink to get used to the fluorescence. Hi, ma'am. I'm here with the ATF. I want to flash my badge really quickly, then back again. Uh, Checking in.
Sorry, hold up. Can I see that? Thanks. Yes. And she like looks at it and writes down some numbers. Okay, thank you.
As I was saying, we're here investigating apparently a young girl that came into your hospital earlier today, appeared mysteriously across state lines. I'm here to do some
Hmm.
due diligence and make sure this isn't some kind of human trafficking operation. If you would be so kind as to let us speak with her for just a few minutes.
Um, hmm. Okay, I'm going to need to see uh documentation for that.
I have the
Yeah.
documentation.
Yeah, you do have the
Watch out.
documentation.
This is DEA agent Raymond Huang,
Okay. Nice
and
to
I
meet you.
will show her
Yep.
my badge and my
Hmm.
license on top of that. So
Okay. Yeah, and you see she looks like she's a real stickler for this as she's looking through it. Okay. Excellent. Agent Valve, how are you, because you're not showing identity. How
Yeah,
are
I'm
you
kind of
trying to avoid that?
I'm standing in the background, like not intentionally hiding, but kind of hoping they, pass by for me.
Yeah.
If not,
Yeah.
I'm consulting, you know.
all right, in that
Yeah.
case, I'll
Do a
say,
yeah.
I'll. Is that all? He's with us. We need to move now before the anything else.
Make a
Time is really
persuade
at the essence of
roll
these things.
in that case,
Okay.
Agent Victory.
Should I get a bonus because we have all the proper documentation?
Uh, I would say no in this
All right,
case.
all right.
She's
82. I
hmm,
failed.
I'm sorry, I do need to see everybody that checks in.
All right,
You understand this girl, if she arrived, yeah, we want to make sure she's taken care of.
then I'll go up and say, Antonio Russo. I am consulting, doing medical and other what would you call it, drug
Yeah.
consulting on this. Um, I do have adequate knowledge in both, but I'll show her a ID, just like probably my
Excellent.
Yale one.
Okay. She writes that down as well. Um, excellent. Let me get let me get a doctor that will walk you there and supervise while you're talking with the woman.
Oh, is she going to get up and away from the desk?
Uh, she will get up and go over to like an intercom there. So yeah, we'll say she kind of turns a little bit from the three of you.
I am sorely tempted to grab a pen and just add a couple of numbers to those badge numbers that she wrote down. But my stealth isn't great. Could I perhaps use dexterity just to essentially like slash some ones in the
Yeah,
middle of
yeah,
the numbers
I'll
that she
allow
wrote
that.
down?
You've got a pretty good dexterity there, so you're high velocity.
And I rolled a odd eight, so it's
Oh,
Numbers appear on the page.
yeah, it's just a couple of ones, but thrown in the middle.
Hmm.
So yeah, trying to run
Yep,
them, it's gonna get gibberish.
excellent. And she turns back. Thank you. Dr. Hoffman will be with you shortly.
all right. If we're just waiting in the waiting room, I'm actually going to call I'm gonna cancel the sick time I took because now I'm officially on this investigation. Now I can
Mm,
Yep,
fully
yep.
use the bureaucracy since I signed myself to it.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I'll also forward this to Xenon as well.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. You
So
get
now I'm
you get the
officially on
thumbs
it.
up back with the
I get a
dot dot
K.
dot. Yeah,
I
dot.
put a schedule
Thumbs
send
up.
on my email, like, oh
Yep.
hey, I got assigned to this new case. No one's gonna question me.
Very nice.
I thought you were
And
gonna say no one's gonna contact me.
Oh,
you do see after a few moments, a woman comes up. She's looking a little tired. You think this might be the end of her shift, sort of thing. Hi, I'm Dr. Hoffman. Uh, let's go ahead and back. It's good to meet you, agents. Um, we have Robin stored back here, and she starts to walk past some of these rows. We put her in her own room. She is doing quite a bit better, um, but she's still a little groggy. So please, be gentle. It's not quite clear what she does or does not remember.
Okay, I understand. This is not our first rodeo, unfortunately.
Yes. Um, before we go in, and she stops in front of the door. Before we go in, just we have performed a preliminary exam on her. Um, she is not harmed in any way that we can tell, besides elemental sort of dehydration, exposure, that sort of thing. There appears to have been no bodily harm, no assault of any kind. She has some abrasions from spending time in the woods. I don't know if you've walked around barefoot in the woods at all. You're going to pick up some scratches, but that's about it. We have her blood tests coming back shortly. It's just a little bit of time.
so with the blood tests, would I know that that also is like a drug screen, or they didn't
Yeah,
perform
yeah, they would
drugs? Okay,
include drugs in that.
Yeah.
all right. So I guess we'll just
I'll
wait.
yeah, I'll pass her a card that has essentially my burner phone number on it and just
Okay.
say, if you can please give us a call when you get those talk screen results in. We have some reason to believe that she's not a stranger to some occasional drug use and just making sure everything comes back not too unusual.
I understand. Her sister should be here before too long, um, to kind of help her from there. She's planning to be here around 8 tonight, and it's about 6 at the moment.
What about the patient's belongings? Are they still with her, or?
Yes, obviously she's wearing a hospital gown now, but she's wearing a sundress, um, kind of like a partying clothes. She describes them to you, and her smartwatch is in there as well. That's actually how I contacted her sister.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see that. It's part of our investigation.
Of course, of course. And she'll kind of walk. I do need to supervise though, just since she is, still in our hospital.
Is
Of
it
Of
course.
course.
would it be acceptable for me to get some uh equipment to run some tests on the various items?
Um, Certainly, yes. If
Okay.
you want to use, she's got her own room if you would like to use this area.
Yeah. I'll run out and grab any necessary equipment, or I'll use what's in the hospital.
Okay, very nice. Yep, and they'll happily, with your cover, give you things that you need. Although you feel like the front desk person might be keeping track of everything that you're asking for, just in case. And going into the room, you see Robin Bullock. You see that's her full name. You would have had that, but she is a black 19-year-old girl. She looks to be kind of in a daze sort of look to her. Um, she is conscious, but she doesn't like she's not looking any of you in the eyes. Like maybe she for a second catches Agent Valve's eyes as he's pulling things into the room, but then it's down again. And if one of you tries to kind of get close, she'll shrink back a little bit.
If I sort of nudge Boris along, if she's looking sort of down to have him get a little nearer to the bed, but of course, like he's just in a good mood. He had gas
Mhm.
station hot dogs. Um, does she react any more positively towards him just as a friendly German Shepherd?
I think so. I generally people react well to dogs and these things, and if you've trained him towards that, she kind of reaches out towards him.
Yeah, I think I give a little, and so he's used to that, but I do note that she recoils a bit from other people.
Hmm. Puppy.
His name is Boris. Do you want to give him a treat? I haven't given him one in a while.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be good.
Okay. I'm just gonna hand you the bag, okay?
Okay. Yeah,
And
and she
yeah, pull out a small baggie and like gently try to hand it over.
yeah, and she doesn't look you in the eye the whole time. It's kind of like down, and she just reaches out and takes it. Um, am I in trouble?
No, not at all. We're we're just trying to understand what happened here. Do you know where you are?
Um, and she looks kind of over towards the doctor. Vermont.
Mm-hmm. And can you tell us how did you get here? Or what's the last thing
Um,
you remember before being here?
I came up here a few days ago with some of my friends.
Can I roll human on that?
You do you have it 30 or higher?
I have 60.
Yeah, she's
Same
lying.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you look through her social media accounts,
Mm-hmm.
she was posting from a club last night at about 11:30 your time. She did not fly up here.
Mm-hmm. So I've already said you're not in trouble. You're still not in trouble at all. But we, I know that that's not true. We're just trying to understand what happened. I can promise you are not a suspect. You're a victim in this case. Your sister's going to be coming here soon if you want to see her. But until then, we just wanted to ask you a few questions and we really
Mhm.
need you to be honest with us.
Make a persuade or psychotherapy roll, and I
Oh,
at plus 20.
okay.
As you can see, your calming voice is working. But let's see.
All right. So Actually, without the plus 20, that's 50 on the dot, which is right on my persuade.
Perfect. Uh, she, you can recognize distress in her as she's going, okay, yeah, what do you want to know? Uh, I'm, I'm sorry. I'm really quite tired.
I understand. We won't need to be there for very long. The nice doctor has told us that this has been a long, a long day for you, to say the
Yeah.
least. Do you know how you got to the woods?
No,
Do you
no,
remember
I just,
anything after the party last night?
um, no, I remember this morning I was in the woods and I met the man and the patrolman in the woods. I was by the rocks.
Do you think someone drugged your drink at the party, maybe?
Um, maybe. It's not that kind of club. There was it was at the hunt. It's just a fun place, but there was a woman there, kind of like hippie, old. I can't. She seemed nice, but sad. And then I don't remember anything after that.
Okay, okay, I understand. Now, you mentioned that you woke up by the rocks. If I were to show you a map, do you think you could maybe point to where that might have been? Or can you tell me what they looked like? Maybe we can try and find them.
Hmm. They're wrong. They've been there for so long and they're covered with graffiti, but there's something worse in them.
I'm going to make a note to essentially ask the doctor or any staff that might have kids if it's a hangout or something locals would know about.
Hmm.
Uh, Victory?
Yeah. Since I'm officially on this investigation, I'll ask the official questions. I'll go through the procedure, the bureaucracy, just like make a show of it over the doctor. But
Okay.
I'm not really focused on the human relations part. I'm looking
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
supplies while Velocity is talking to the girl. So what I'm doing is I'm looking through, are the supplies in the same room, her belongings?
Yes, they are in the same room. There is a little baggie that you can see with a uh what you would recognize as the smartphone,
Yeah.
and you're actually a little surprised because it's one of those like uh smartphone in disguise sort of things. Like it
Hmm.
looks like a real watch,
Oh,
but you think like, oh, it's a screen, right? Like you can do
yeah.
it. So if you didn't know, you'd go, oh, it's just a nice watch, but it's actually like a smart gadget.
I'll just go ahead and plug that bad boy in into a
Hmm.
charger.
Yeah,
And
you
you
see
can find a
the
lot of
battery.
stuff
Yeah.
in that. Like, let's say heart rate.
Hmm.
It can track heart rate, it can track location. So I'm gonna try and glean any information through this smartphone that we didn't have before.
That's nice. I like that.
And
Um, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say while he's doing that, I'm gonna run tests for chemical, like I'm gonna run tests on all her stuff for like chemicals, plants.
Hmm.
I have like all the relevant sciences. I'm gonna put them to work here.
All right. Yeah, you actually have enough relevant sciences there that I'm not going to have you do a roll. We'll get back to Agent Victory. As Valve, you are starting to look through the blood tests here. Uh, they'll come back as well with some of the results. And what you can see from just a level, you're not inspecting her medically at this point, right? You're just talking to her. Um, her blood is testing positive for benzodiazepine,
Oh, she had some
which
downers.
Yeah, another word they have is midazolam, not promising anythings, or versed. And you would know that that is a extremely powerful sedative, and it prevents formation of new memories during that time.
Would we know if that's a naturally occurring, like the human body can naturally produce that, or
Mm,
okay,
No,
so
it's basically Valium or
yeah.
Xanax.
okay, so a mundane
Mhm.
drug was used on her, not something that messed up with her biology from an unnatural standpoint.
It is a naturally occurring sort of drug. Yeah.
Naturally occurring, as in the body can produce
Or
something.
sorry, it is not a natural
Okay, all right,
occurring. Yeah,
so
yeah.
So I think you mean like
This,
mundane drug.
yeah,
yeah. Like, yes, that's correct. You're not thinking space druggies at this
no,
point.
I'm talking about like creatine, like something like that, because like while you can
Gotcha.
digest creatine, your body also produces it. So
Yeah.
I was going for
This
the
is
angle of
right. Yep. This would not be a anything she would just happen to have.
okay.
Is there anything strange on like the clothing or any of her other possessions?
Ooh, I like that. Do a search as you are looking through hers, or
Ooh, I don't.
forensics if you have it, which I believe you
Okay,
do.
I have 40 forensics, so I'd much rather do that than search.
Okay. You are
Dice is on the floor. Okay, that is an 18.
okay, nice. You start to look
Oh,
through.
I misread that. Sorry, that's a
Oh,
1.
oh, it's a one.
And it is
That's even
zero
better.
zero as an 8.
You are looking as maybe Victory, you start asking these questions, the phone's charging, and Valve, you go up and look through um her belongings, and you see there's like the dress, the watch is charging. Um, you are not seeing there's no phone, there is no wallet, there are no car keys. But as you're looking at this dress she was wearing, you turn it and you realize there is kind of near the back, um, kind of near the base of the spine, there is a little pinprick of blood and a puncture in this dress, like so tiny you would normally not even see it.
I'm gonna see if I can take samples of that blood. And is
Mhm.
the drug, is it administered through like injections?
That one, the drug burst in this case would actually be more typically consumed.
Okay,
So like in
Someone
a
probably
drink or
spiked her
something.
drink. Yeah.
Right.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. But and it's on the leg, right?
On
Back.
the yeah, on the back. Yeah. Actually a lumbar marking,
Right.
which I
But
believe
it's
is
tiny.
Like
it's
syringe
very
tiny.
tiny. Yep, it is
Well,
syringe tiny.
yeah, but okay. That's odd because it's tiny syringes wouldn't puncture that deep because with lumbar it's tough. Like if you're going to get an epidural, that's a solid like a quarter-inch gauge thick needle that goes in there. Uh,
So is it
okay.
that big or is it
Nope.
tinier?
It's just a very
Hmm.
small little puncture wound.
Okay. Um, so if we like basically superimpose the dress with like the girl,
Mhm.
do we see a puncture wound?
Yeah, you guys have persuaded her pretty well. If you ask to kind of inspect this and show this, she'll lean forward and you can see with there is a bruising down by the base of her spine. This would be consistent. You guys have enough like medicine and that sort of information. Um, this would be something that would be similar to a spinal tap to draw cerebrospinal fluid.
Jesus.
I
It
wanna
doesn't look incredibly professional. Like the bruising would kind of indicate that it was a little bit haphazard. But again, to your point, velocity, this is weirdly small. Like the amount of force this must have had to do this, it would be very powerful.
I wanna I'm assuming that we may have had to involve the physician in order to like say like,
Yes,
can
she's
we like do
watching
this
this. Yeah.
examination and
Yeah.
everything? And like it seeing this, I want to say, I thought you said that she wasn't harmed at all, just some scrapes on her feet.
Um,
I mean, did you run an
we
epidural on her?
I'm
I've never.
sorry. No, we didn't notice that. And she kind of gets close. That's no. And Robin, can you explain this? And at this point, maybe the doctor like touches Robin on that spot just to kind of like see. And Robin flinches away and like pushes back, and there is a fear in her eyes. Don't, no, 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 no,
It's
no,
okay. It's okay. Do you remember what happened there?
no, no,
Okay.
no.
Well, do you want to have the best picture of what might have happened if it can help you piece things together?
I don't want to think about this anymore.
And I want to help out Velocity by getting the doctor out of the room. I'm going to
Okay.
say, hey, let's have a word outside.
Make a persuade
Okay.
because you can see the Dr. Hoffman's
34.
kind of like looking at the spine and looks back at you of
Yeah.
yeah, we can
This is
yeah,
an official investigation. This is serious.
okay.
I
Yeah.
I want you to know that like she is exhibiting signs of being drugged. The evidence checks out. She has a syringe mark in her back. I want you to
Mhm.
understand that this is an official investigation. This is a very dangerous group,
I yeah, we
and I'm going
don't
to keep her
really
distracted.
yeah, we don't really have something like that here. It's not very and she's distracted kind of. She's got that word salad
And she's
sort
out
of.
of the room too. So,
Yeah,
Hmm.
she's out of the room.
While
Yeah.
while that is happening, I want to first make sure the blood sample on the dress and her blood
Hmm.
match. And I want to see if there's anything else in that blood sample on the dress. If there was anything injected into her
Oh,
that's like
yeah.
residual on that.
You got an O1 before, and I think I'm gonna that benefit can kind of get in there. It is her blood,
Hmm.
and what is interesting to you as you are doing that, there is something, and I'm gonna have you roll SAN on this. There is something else in this sample that is defying what you expect, like a very minute trace amount. It almost seems you've got good medicine, like again, like this the spinal fluid of someone else, but it's confusing looking at it. Like there's a lot of other strange organic sort of mixtures in there. You can't quite place what this other thing might be.
Right. That is a 20 on the sanity, so a pass.
Okay. You are good as you are looking at that.
I will wait till velocity is done before I mention that.
Okay.
yeah.
While Dr. Hoffman is distracted, I want to lean in. Like, clearly, she's not looking, she's not making eye contact, but at least like lean in a little closer and in a just very serious, earnest voice, um, as I remind myself her name. Uh, Listen, Robin, the things that did this to you are still out there. They are still in Alabama. They are still probably here in Vermont. We are here to find them and stop them. Your sister is coming here in 2 hours, and those things are still out there. If you want to protect your sister to stop this from ever happening to anyone again, I need you to tell me right now everything you know.
Ooh, make a persuade as you're getting up close. And as you are asking her this, you would see that tension building and building.
That is a 43 under 50.
Okay.
So close to
I'm
victory.
glad
She,
I added the 10 points to persuade.
yeah, no kidding. It's, I don't know. Maybe they want me. Maybe they want me because I've had I've this isn't the first time this has happened to me. This isn't I've had walkouts before. I uh, it's I was at a party one time and I was just super. That wasn't the first though. No, the first time I was like meditating on a rock on a rock and I was a little high on acid, but I don't do that anymore because I found myself at a mountaintop that I've been a lot and it was beautiful, but I don't know how it's happened. I don't know what's happened to me.
Does this have something to do with Bam, Bell, and Shadow?
I don't know. They didn't know anything. They did none of them know anything. None of them in Agent Valve. She looks up and meets your eyes. And I want you to make a sanity check.
27.
27. Lose one sanity from the unnatural as you are, you look in her eyes and it almost transfixes you. And for the moment, you see Velocity is maybe talking in the background, but there's no noise. And she's just looking at you, and you're having these flashes of like meat being torn through with teeth, human meat, and people changing, twisting as tumors are breaking out of them, horrible transformations. But yet you feel this oneness with everything in this room. Her, Boris, Velocity, little mites somehow in this room. You can feel this presence of everything as you snap back and you realize that Robin is screaming at the top of her lungs.
That's probably when he gets rid of the gas station hot dogs in the nearest trash can.
Yeah, I think that's completely fair. And yeah, Velocity, she is just screaming outside the door, victory. You and this other doctor probably have a jump.
Yeah, I'll rush in like instinctively.
And I mean, she's just curling up, pulling the blankets towards herself, screaming, staring at Valve.
We got a problem here.
Doctor, she's having a panic attack. Do you have any sedatives? Anything?
Yeah,
Do you have a nurse?
yes. And she like hits an intercom, and you hear nurses rushing in towards her.
It's yeah, I'm just gonna say we got a problem. This is not normal.
All right, then you make the call to Jeepers.
Yeah, give me her number. I don't have
Yeah,
it.
I'll give you and the burner and yeah,
Before I
clean
that
off that puke off your shirt.
yeah, just
Yeah, all right. So
And
you're kind of wiping down and stepping out. What are the other two doing? Yeah, Velocity.
in all of this chaos, you mentioned that there were, a plastic bag that had her
Hmm.
phone and the smartwatch and other articles of clothing. You said that she was wearing a sundress. Is
Yeah.
there any small article of clothing that she would have worn that I could grab and put in the plastic bag?
Sure. Yeah. There's
Essentially, I
probably
just want like something that I could rip and have Boris potentially follow a scent into the woods.
yeah, let's say she has like a head on a like a wrist thing.
Yeah, like a
Like a
scrunchie or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Okay.
Was I
put
able
the
to find
watch
anything in
on.
the smartwatch before we?
Um, let's yeah, let's kind of cut out on that. You saw it had charged enough, so do you just grab it and go?
No,
Like she's
I'm
well
gonna
distracted at this point.
gonna have to make a call here. Actually, there's no reason for me to act at all because I'm gonna be staying here until the sister gets here because I'm on this investigation officially.
Okay.
So,
All right. So in that case, we know yeah, Agent Victor, you're gonna stay and start looking through this phone a little bit more as it's charging. Velocity and Valve, what are your thoughts?
So, what I am going to tell the doctor, because of the way that she was looking at Victory, I am going to do kind of just a high level gloss over saying that sometimes whenever victims of human trafficking see someone that resembles one of the
What the
traffickers, it can trigger a
fuck?
panic attack. So he's not going to like, we're going to recommend he's not stay here for a while, and he's going to be just operating in an office space that we have rented.
Oh, you mean
Um,
Valve? Okay.
Yeah, Valve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valve,
Sorry.
sorry.
Yeah.
Change your name. I can't tell.
Uh, just a side note, by the way, Valve is like kind of unsettling looking because he's had multiple cosmetic surgeries. So he's kind of looks like
Further cementing
Yeah.
my point.
Oh my God.
And
Frankenstein's
Got the
monster.
shiny nose or whatever where you're like,
Ugh.
uh-oh.
Does the nose come off?
but so yeah, I want to essentially tell the doctor that, but then exactly as Victory pointed out, say like we're going to stay here at least until the sister or family arrives. Once she can get calmed down, we've done this before. We're not going to antagonize the patient, and like you can trust us. Um,
Always trust the
But then, yeah,
police.
saying that Valve is going to keep a distance because he may remind her of some of the
Yeah.
traffickers. But
Yeah.
if there's a request for supplies, that is what is happening. If you could tell your overly cautious nurse who's manning the front desk to ease up on the gas a little bit, that would be much preferred.
Sure. Yeah, there's some things that I can't do, but it sounds good.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
And yeah, Valve, you're kind of wiping
yeah,
wiping down a little bit.
I'm gonna go outside, quickly text Velocity and Victory to run down to what happened, how there was like spinal fluid or something that wasn't hers, and it was very, anomalous. And
If it's
then
Mhm.
I'll
not
text,
human, right?
yeah,
Is it
I think
It's
human or
close
is it
to
something
human.
else?
That's the
close.
weird thing.
Something that
Yeah.
science has never encountered before? If that's the case, call Jeepers, get
And
a new directive from her.
I'm texting about the visions, just so we're not actively talking about that
Okay.
next to the
As you
doctor.
are as you are texting about the visions, I'm going to shake my head and say, "Damn, we warned him against those hot dogs."
Yes, we did.
Not going to
Some
believe it
people
for now.
never learn. I
Now
mean,
that would be a scenario.
last time it was the gas station sushi. And you never
Oof.
you never do that in a landlocked state. Jesus.
Truly, I didn't think he was coming back from that.
All right. With my loss score at 50%, I'm gonna
Mhm.
follow every procedure.
Yeah. No, that sounds good. You are doing this by the books, and we'll say in that case, Velocity and Valve, it sounds like you're kind of removing yourself for the moment. We'll get back to you in a second to kind of see if there's anything you do in the kind of waiting 2 hours time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so I just wanted to air this is a half-baked plan that I'm forming. If Victory wants to look at the readouts from her smartwatch, like I don't know if those would be on the watch itself, because like explaining that she was doing these meditations, so she may like if we find something, it may be from a day or more
I'm
ago.
looking for photos too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any photos she took that she hasn't
Yeah.
revealed.
And so I am wanting to like whenever she calms down, say like, your sister's going to be here just in an hour now. Do you want to text her? Do you want to call her? And I want to watch her unlock her phone so that we can
Um,
crack it open after.
I would say you probably don't really get a response out of her because they are sedating her for this. But if you express it all, the wanting to unlock the phone, the Dr. Hoffman will kind of turn, yeah, I did that earlier. It's facial rec. Just hold it above for
Oh,
a second.
oh, thank you. And then bring that over to Agent Wong.
Yes. And Agent Victory.
Yes.
You are looking through this. We'll say it has like kind of those like the circles that you need to fill, the heart rate monitor and whatnot.
Hmm.
What you are seeing is that last night her heart rate spiked um right around kind of party time, if you want to say that, like kind of late at night, right?
Yep. Like 8 p.m.
11:30, yeah, 11:30, yeah, about that. Uh, it starts to drop a fair bit around midnight.
That's a might be the sedative, or
Hmm.
I'm looking for a bigger
Right,
drop.
right. You're thinking that's probably a sedative. She probably at that point had maybe left the club or something, or maybe the sedative is just doing it.
Hmm.
Um, and you see it kind of continues that downward trend to about uh 153 or so, and you are getting like little GPS bits here.
Uh-huh.
Um, it looks like actually during that time, from midnight to about 124, she was going on what you could cross-reference to Highway 280, past all these suburbs and heading out into kind of the deep country Alabama. And she kind of went to the middle of nowhere at about 153. There's not a good GPS sort of location on it because it's not like it's
Like
just
it's a
spotty in that
general
area.
area.
Yeah.
I'll record that down because that might be something worth seeing.
Yeah. And it was kind of rainy that night too, which didn't help. There's a couple communities of Brownsville and Hatchet Creek.
Hmm.
I'm assuming you're just on your phone kind of cross
Yeah.
comparing. But it doesn't center it very well. Then you see that there is about that time of extreme high stress. Like she was sedated, almost like asleep. And then there is a moment of extreme stress, just spikes all the way up. And
And
that's
two.
when you see the location data swap to uh, Vermont. And you can kind of see it's the same problem of it's a little bit in the mountains, so you have a rough idea of this. You
uh
can see the golf course kind of nearby-ish, right?
Here's what
Like,
I'd like to
yeah,
know. Does she exhibit the same pattern of sedation and then extreme panic for when she goes from Vermont to Virginia?
Vermont to Virginia.
Because
I may have
2:30.
misspoken at one point.
Okay, because from
Yeah,
what
she
I wrote
went.
down,
Yeah,
2:30 Alabama, I mean
yep,
2:03 Alabama, 3:07 Vermont, and then
yes.
7:36 went to Virginia.
That is my mistake. No, she is in Vermont. She is in Vermont.
Oh, we're all in Vermont.
You're all in Vermont.
All right, so
Yes,
we're not
this
in
is
Virginia.
yes. I
Uh,
substituted another V
Oh
state
God,
for
we
it. Yes.
teleported.
Ah,
Agent. Oh,
where am I? No, correct.
oh. Okay,
That is
got it.
where in Stratton, Vermont, that is the golfer found her wandering out of the woods.
Okay, I just confused
Yep.
myself.
Yeah,
Okay,
no
so
worries.
it
So yeah,
okay.
that's the right around that 321-ish mark. It's she was not in Alabama anymore.
Hmm.
And then it kind of trails off again, and you
I want to
see
find the
moderate
location ping.
physical activity, like she was stumbling through the woods sort
Yeah.
of
Now,
thing.
what's the deal with the location data can for when she teleported to that location in Vermont? Can I get the GPS location there? The
Oh,
exact ping?
that's interesting. You would be able to get a little bit better of a sort of thing. So you see that she appeared kind of in these woods by that, and you see like the little Google pin.
Hmm.
Um, there is a kind of like a little pond and just that little pin that says Indian Rocks.
Oh, okay. This better not be another like BS Native American tie-in. I mumble
I see one fucking crab fungus. Shoot it.
like last time, right?
Mm-hmm. They're getting unruly these days.
All right. So we have a couple follow-ups. We can
Yeah.
check out that location in the woods. We can follow up with the
Yep.
person who found her near the resort country club. See if we get any more insight. Do we have that information? Who found Robin?
You, you would have the name of the person that's not necessarily relevant, but you would see that Officer Revitt
Okay.
is the patrolman that went out to get her.
I'd like to talk to Revit at some point just so I can establish myself and as operating in his jurisdiction and area because we are
Perfect.
doing his investigation. And
Yeah.
hopefully we can find ourselves an ally.
Okay. Um, yeah,
But I'm
that
just
that'll
waiting
probably
for
be
her
a
sister to come.
yep.
That's
Yeah,
probably a tomorrow thing.
yeah, you think he might be off the clock. You could probably reach out, but he might not be around at the moment.
Then I
Is
think
there,
at least like leaving a
no?
message, making ourselves known, essentially, because I also would like to talk with him not only about her state when he picked her up, but asking,
Yeah.
like, again, she mentioned the graffiti on the rocks, so I'm assuming he might know if there's like a local teenager hangout, like underage drinking and whatnot, and could point
Hmm.
us closer to if there's a local fixture.
Okay. So you're just leaving a message that says like contact me at this point, right? Or are you leaving him a list of like questions?
As Victory said, just making ourselves known, saying, hey, we're agents, like with the DEA and ATF investigating this as possible human trafficking. If you can give us a call at this number, we
Okay.
would like to also ask you a few questions, just inquiring on the victim, yada yada.
Okay.
Call me
Awesome.
maybe.
Call me, maybe. All right. In that case, if the group is kind of waiting a little
I'm
bit,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
Agent
call
Valve.
the handler.
Yeah, yeah,
Set
yes.
up a safe house too. That'd be good.
Um, this is Valve. We are here to call about the transportation incident. Um,
Ah, yes. Yes, yes.
um, there have been two anomalies in the system, uh,
Shit.
including visions, uh, in and substance, uh, unnatural substance transfer.
Okay. Don't like
We will
that.
we will be in touch.
Great. Do you guys need anything from me?
Um, if you're able to get us a safe house near
Yeah.
Vermont, that would
Uh,
be wonderful.
sure. Yeah,
Otherwise,
I'll see
I
what
can
I
get
can
it.
do. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'll see what I can do. And she will you expect she'll give you a call back. She has your number now if she, finds something. And then it begins a bit of a waiting game as you wait. Victory, you can see that she kind of falls deeper under the sedation and actually falls unconscious. Velocity and Valve, a little after 8 that night, you see a little bit older woman looks to be the sister of Robin Pullen. You would know that this is Emily Bullock.
Right. I'd like to intercept her before she enters the room at all.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd like to brief her that this is a police investigation and that we do suspect there is evidence that she has been drugged. So we're
Okay.
working
Yeah.
to bring justice to the perpetrators.
Uh, you let's say yeah, you kind of stop her. The three of you will say are right there. You kind of start into that, and she basically just goes, "Yeah, can I see my sister now?
Go ahead.
Your
Thank
sister's
you."
been sedated.
Uh,
Uh,
y-
she
sure.
may not
Yeah.
be very responsive. Okay.
And she goes in and like pretty quickly there's a very protective sort of feel to it as she goes down and like grabs her shoulder and just recognizes that Robin is unconscious at the moment and just you can see she's holding her hand very tightly.
Do you want to know what we suspect or what we suspect has happened based on what we know now? Or do you need some time?
Uh, Sure, sure. What?
Okay. So, are you aware of her frequenting a club called The Hunt?
Yes, I am aware. They go there plenty. It's a cool place. It's more progressive than a lot of the shitty places you have in Alabama.
Okay. Well, we suspect that someone drugged her drink there. We found benzos in her system, which, I mean, it's not roofies. It's a little odd, but not unheard of.
Yes, this matches the MO of a drug ring that we're tracking.
Yes. Time is truly of the essence in cases like this. The people that did this are still out there and probably still in this area. If you know anything that can help us find them or understand more about what happened, I really need you to help us now.
Um,
We're sure you're not going to get in trouble.
yeah. Um, you guys have a high enough human. She's kind of gauging what she's going to tell you. So do roll persuade.
Okay.
Oh boy.
79.
Yeah.
79. That doesn't seem like it.
35.
Okay. It's a bit of a mixed bag.
Victory says, come on. And that's what breaks.
Um,
Put on my cool boy,
yeah.
cool kid's cap.
Um, yeah, that's a nice success failure. We're gonna kind of go in the middle as she kind of goes, look, I know my sister. She takes drugs. She used to take drugs. She doesn't really anymore. I think she had a bad experience one time. Um, so I don't know if you think she was like roofied or something. She had mentioned like a kind of hippie woman that was like older at the club. Um, and she pulls out her phone and uh starts to flip through it. I got some pictures from her from the club. And she starts holding up, and you can see this picture of the club now is it's kind of a small crowd. Like there aren't a ton of people. You can see that Robin is there with some of her friends, all about the same age. And she's like flipping through the photos, and you can just see like a sleeve in the corner of one of them. And when it kind of there's one that almost catches this person, and you can see that they've done like the hand towards the camera.
Hair color distinguishable.
Yeah, black hair.
Pattern on the sleeve.
Um, it appears to
If it is like
be,
a hippie like
yeah, um, kind
garment,
of a
it might have
business
recognizable.
casual look, weirdly. And that's not the vibe you're getting from the rest of the club. Like the rest of it looks pretty like current. There's a lot of young clientele here.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a
We spot any security
little out of there.
cameras in the foreground of the picture,
Hmm.
the
Yeah,
background of the picture?
there's some security cameras here and there.
Then I think that's another potential
Yeah.
follow-up clue.
Mhm.
We can track the security cameras of that club when we
Yeah.
get down to Alabama.
Um,
I'd
there's
like you to send me those pictures. That can help us bring justice to these perpetrators.
oh, okay.
Get your
Um,
sister the justice she deserves.
sure. Yeah. I can do that. And she
If you need
starts
anything,
to send you.
contact this number and I'll give you my
Um,
number.
there's something else. I don't think she'd tell you this, but Robin like hangs out in like the occult circles, like
She mentioned
weirdos.
meditating a lot and finding herself. I was going to ask if you knew about this kind of hippie thing. You said she had a bad trip. She mentioned meditating on a mountain and finding herself. Do you know what any
Listen,
of
we've
that's
heard
about?
Uh,
all manners of stories.
she's looking at velocity, and there's that kind of failure
Velocity,
of
read
that.
the room.
Yeah, of she recognizes what you're saying, and there's like recognition of like, oh, there's more, and she's doesn't want to talk about it. Yeah. There's other people that have had like they've been drugged recently. There's like other women in this group that she's with that like just have blanks in their memory.
That would be the Bam, Bell, and Shadow. Is this the occult group
Yeah,
you're talking about?
that sounds right.
Do you know, is there an email or contact information for any of these other
Uh,
people that you would know, even just Facebook to try to message them?
Not really. They're all part of the group online. I'm not part of it. It's like a private forum thingy.
I really hate to ask, but if your sister's phone is here, would you be comfortable
Her
logging in on her
phone's
account or giving her login information to us so that we can see this? This is a federal investigation.
I understand. I don't know if she has her phone on her or not.
It's literally right there.
The smartwatch?
The phone
No, there's no
that
phone.
was face recognition that
Oh,
the
her
No,
phone.
doctor used.
Yes. No,
no, it was
Robin's
the
phone.
smartwatch.
smartwatch had the
Was the
face
phone.
recognition. What Emily is showing you is her phone that she got pictures from Robin. Like
But we
Robin
don't
was
have
sending
Robin's
her.
smartphone.
No, you do
I
not.
thought we had the smartphone and the
Yes.
watch.
Nope,
Oh, okay.
just the
My
watch.
misunderstanding.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I sick my dog on her.
Ah!
Um,
She goes
Oh,
down gouts of blood.
not
the thought
again.
flashes in my mind. Okay, fuck.
Yeah, sorry. I thought it was clear this is my phone, not Robin's. She says, I hang you up. No. Um, yeah, I mean I'm happy to share what I can. I just I, this is my sister. Like I need to take her home. Like we need to go. So I mean you can we're leaving as soon as we can. Like there's no reason for us to stay here, right?
Can I and or victory roll law or bureaucracy to know if there's like a 24-hour like a
Yeah,
holding
let's
thing
lock
for
this
Hmm.
an
shit
active
down.
investigation?
I'll say, yeah, you can make a law roll to shut it down. I don't know personally whether there is or not, but I'd say with a good law roll, you can make a reason.
Fuck,
Oh,
32
and
over 30.
I failed.
Could
I
I
gotta.
put could I potentially stall it for medical reasons? Was
that,
that
yeah, I like that.
Oh,
was
Yeah,
that a
She's had
bureaucracy or
an yeah,
medicine? They're both the
epidural
same.
something.
yeah, do a, yeah, bureaucracy, I think makes sense.
Okay, not a fumble, but 98.
Okay.
oh,
Yeah,
we all
you're,
failed.
you're having troubles. Like, yes, she was drugged, but if she wakes up tomorrow
If
and
she's cleared
goes,
by the
I want to go
doctors,
home,
yeah,
right?
she's
Like
cleared
the
by the
doctors
doctors.
don't really have a reason to keep her. So, with Emily, especially as an adult, being able to check her out, it's likely that she'll take her home tomorrow.
And okay, well, cool. I am immediately going to try and like, okay, well, thanks for your time and like excuse myself and find Dr. Hoffman and just say that, her sister is going to try to take her out of here within the next few hours or possibly tonight or first thing in the morning.
Okay.
And that's we're very concerned about this puncture mark. If she could have been injected with something in this epidural, it's extremely unusual. If you could do me a favor, this is not a, well, fuck, I can't say this isn't an active case, but like you would have the first claim for her medical well-being. If you could potentially keep her here until noon tomorrow, just enough to run some more tests. But this is extremely unusual. This is following the MO of a known organization. And if she leaves, we could miss this lead and these people might walk away.
I'll let you make one more
Oh,
persuade roll.
Oh,
And this is kind of a bit of a pushed roll, though.
Yeah,
If we were to put a name to it.
we're doing
you
our
know what's
best.
great about a pushed roll?
You
Hmm.
get a fail
A
it.
success is still a success, baby. 20 on the
Oh,
dot.
yeah. Woo.
yeah. Hoffman kind of goes, well, normally we let her go, but yeah, I think noon I can do that. Yes.
Thank you,
we'll
doctor.
keep her here. Um like you know that taking the smartwatch if you want is well within your, you're following these clues. She'd let you do that at this point.
Okay. I say like, thank you, doctor. Do you want a high five? And then I look and
I beg your
Boris
pardon.
has a paw up.
Yeah, so there's the I beg your. Well, yeah, I kind of do.
Eh?
Yeah, she gives. That's really
Or-
cute. Yeah.
Make sure to wash your hands. You're working in a hospital.
Yes. Good thinking. Um, is there anything? What are you guys doing at this point? Like, it's probably about 9 at night.
See if
It's
the
dark. Yeah.
handler texted me a safe house location or
Oh,
anything set up.
great question. Roll me a D100, please, because I don't have my dice out in front of me.
Oh, I was starting to do like
Bat handler.
online commands to the Zoom chat. That's not how it works. 37.
Okay, yeah, you have a safe house, and it is actually, she found you one in the community around Grace Cottage. So you don't even have to go far. And it's just like a Airbnb type thing that she reserved for you.
All right, let's regroup. I think we've done what we can here. I think we've done what and unless situations develop, I don't imagine ourselves visiting back tomorrow and we're just letting them go. We'll call to see if they've been released.
Hmm.
Um, and I think tonight I definitely want to grab some flashlights and some other equipment to head out to Indian Rock.
Okay.
And absolutely taking down the sister's car, license plate,
Yeah.
everything like that.
Yeah.
Yep. You can easily do that.
Yeah. I'm also might stop by the local police station to talk to Officer Revit if he's on duty at that time. Who knows?
Okay. Yeah.
Do you
Roll
have a look?
luck. Yeah, roll luck
Okay.
for me. What was the question, Bell?
46.
Okay.
I was asking Victory. Do you have a location for those rocks or a name?
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently it's a
Hmm.
known formation
Then
that's most likely on Google.
I'm
I
going to
also
Yeah.
have
go.
the
Yeah.
GPS
Yeah.
location.
Yep.
I'm gonna go on my laptop, and if I have to use like Yale University access, but find everything I can on these
Yeah.
stones.
Also, maybe find out what you
I
can
like
about
it.
Bam, Bell, and Shadow.
As that and maybe even like a little bit on the substances, but it's probably not gonna come up.
Okay. Um, I like that. I will have you roll a search roll as you are just looking through this.
Nope. I
Nope.
don't have any search.
Oh dear. Well, you're starting to look through. There is some information you can find. Absolutely. You look up the rocks, and not only do you see it's a little bit off of the mountain golf course, the Stratton Mountain Golf Course. Um, there's also fan sites and like social threads that talk about this, and you do get the impression that this is 100% settlers just being dumb and calling it Indian rocks for some goddamn reason. There's like a kind of a tale of there being puckwudgies there, which are like little goblins with magical powers. Yeah, little. Yeah. Um,
And that's definitely a New
but
England thing.
yeah, it's very much like there are threads about it. Ooh, it's spooky, but nothing substantial. The Bam, Bell, and Shadow, I'm gonna call it Bam. There's an H in there. It's silent, I guess. Um, you do find it. It does appear to be a like private group. You could apply to get in, but you'd need like an account and probably to like put your face in there, basically.
Yeah, yeah. Could I roll like a cult to kind of like talk? I don't have high occult, but maybe just make an attempt to sign up.
What is your occult?
It's 20.
Do a roll at a plus 20 then.
Nope.
Nope. Um, you will enter your, so what kind of information do you apply to this? Like, do you make a
I'm
fake
I'm probably
account?
making a new email. I don't want this going to my school email.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
maybe I have a
so
spam email already.
I like that. Yeah,
Do
just
you have an
something there.
AOL or a Hotmail?
Um, you make a quick account, what do you use for like the photo and details of this? Because it'll require like a personal account.
So he kind of searches for through his computer for too long and then settles on like a picture of like, ooh, I'm gonna do an evens odds, yeah. Okay, he settles on a picture of his son.
Oh, I love it.
It's like
Okay.
the
Yep.
probably an old school picture of his son from like college, and puts that on there.
Okay. Very nice. And you put some like kind of occulty stuff to show that you're interested in it, but you're not it's not getting picked up on right away, right? Like you apply for access and you're just looking at it like, well, okay. And you think you're just gonna have to wait a bit.
During this time, I think I'm going to take Boris out for a walk. I definitely have one of those like pop out doggy bowls. And so, like, giving him food, water. It's been a long day. And while doing all of this, probably while Boris is doing his business, I want to call in to the club in
Hmm.
Alabama,
Ah.
ostensibly on official ATF business, and say, this is part of an active investigation, and we have reason to believe that one of your customers or clients was
Hmm.
drugged and taken from the club last night. One of the potential perpetrators is an older woman, like based on the photos that we saw, like business casual. If you could send me, or like if like
Hmm.
whatever, if we can get access to your security camera footage for that night, this is part of an active human trafficking investigation.
Send it to like an official government email too.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
Yep.
like, my name is
Oh,
already on it, so like,
Oh,
send
that's
it
true. Yeah.
straight to me. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, a man
Like,
named
I'm gonna say this is
Eddie.
part of a tip off.
Yeah, a man named Eddie picks up and you are talking to him about this. The problem is that there's not really a role you can do to avoid this. Like he's not just going to give it directly to you. But he does say, okay, like this is I'm working tonight. Yeah, let me call my lawyer. If you get a call from Golding, that's her. She will get in contact with you, make sure all the things are covered. Um, I just want you to know we're going to take this very seriously. Like that is not an acceptable, like we don't hold for that in here. So we are more than happy to help. We just got to jump through the hoops.
Yeah, I work for the government. I'm no stranger to jumping through hoops. Thank
Hmm.
you for being cooperative, and yeah, I'll be on the lookout for that call.
Okay. And so we have two people waiting. Victory, you have gone shopping,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
you have two, I don't know, Target bags full of stuff. What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting flashlights. Uh, is there I don't think there's any like counter to sedative that's out there.
Red Bulls.
Yeah, that's kind of where
Yeah,
my mind was, is you could try and do the
coffees.
That's
Yeah.
not
opposite
a
and have
thing,
your
but
heart
yeah.
explode.
Just to get like 5 hour energy.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, things that would help us just search in the woods at night.
Buy backpacks, and then we can just put like books or like planks in them, and it can't poke us in the back, whatever it is.
Yeah, I'll get us backpacks,
Sure.
zip ties, all that good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Good wholesome stuff
Rope.
for yeah.
Hmm.
And you had mentioned calling the police at that point. I don't want
Yeah.
to completely gloss over that of with that luck they do tell you yeah, they Officer Revitt will be we can get a hold of him. He actually works kind of early morning.
Oh, great.
So
6
yeah,
a.m. meeting. I'll schedule that on his calendar.
yeah, that sounds great. We will have him in the
You're a
office.
monster.
I
Yeah.
am.
No,
Gotta
that's
soften
actually
him up.
like right in his time. 6 a.m. is great.
Yeah, great for
He's
him.
a morning patrolman. So yeah, okay. This person, including me, makes a note, 6 a.m. Officer Revitt will
Yeah.
be here.
And tonight we're gonna check out Indian Rock. So I'll start driving back to
Okay.
the hotel.
Okay. Then let's cut a little bit to that unless there's anything anyone wants to do. You've got your preparation. You know where it is. It's not really that far from the golf course, but it's quickly becomes as you maybe you even drive to the golf course because that's going to be a very easy like access point to it, and
Yep.
they're not open late at night. And you can see from the parking lot you just have these Vermont woods heavily forested there. It's the heat of the days going down, and you're not hearing a lot of animal noises, but it is getting dark. The moon is up, but it's not full.
Oh, I'll bring bear spray. Yeah, that's good.
I
We're
like
in
it.
Vermont.
Ah.
I, I'm gonna open up that wooden box I brought along,
Mm.
the fairly ornate one, and bring out my father's old 44 revolver.
Whoa. Oh, that's your bear repellent.
Yeah,
So
and
I'm assuming we're
this
all here,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
unless some people want to sleep. Okay. You got Boris is here. That's great. Why don't you give her the
Bark.
bracelet? You can
Yep.
Hmm.
see if you can follow exactly.
Bark, bark.
Bark, bark. Boris goes bark, bark. This is Boris's job, so this is right up his alley. Um, with all the information you have about this place, it's actually quite easy if you start following Boris. The woods are kind of quiet, the flashlights going across the ground, but you make steady progress up to these
It's like we're
rocks.
professionals.
You are professionals, indeed. And you arrive at this uh, hilltop deep in the woods. You've walked for quite a bit, and you just see there is a spiral of these huge stones set on top of this hilltop. Trees are not growing out of them, they're just kind of off to the side. Uh, there is a lot of graffiti and like tequila bottles, and that this looks like maybe a teenager party spot. And just kind of looking around, there is a hint of stale beer smell just kind of there.
Ugh.
Yeah, and you're looking around, and what do you guys do?
I would like to see if Boris can detect exactly where she popped up, like where the trail started
Mm,
in the
mm.
first place.
Yeah. Would you want me to roll? I have craft dog training.
Yeah, yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to
Do we
think
get a
what he would
bonus
do.
because we actually have the
Yeah,
ascendant?
It
give yourself a
it is
uh-oh.
such a shame that this is not Call of Cthulhu because I have a feeling a 6 under 70
Oh,
would be a really damn good
Yeah,
success.
and what's sad is that's not that good a
Just
success
a
in Delta.
regular success. Yeah.
Just a regular and not even a high
boo.
number. Yeah, I'd say you follow Boris, and Boris kind of has that like focus that these dogs have, and he sniffs and goes across these spiraling rocks and gets to the center of the area and looks around confused, like nose in
Dare I
the
say,
air.
what is it, boy?
Yeah. And he whines a little bit and like walks back along the trail and then walks like that. And there's this obvious confusion of Boris cannot find where this trail started from here.
Hmm.
Let's search
Well,
the area where it started. Maybe Robin dropped something. Like we still weren't able to locate her cell phone.
I'm going to look at the rocks, and I want to look at like the plants. If there's any like moss on the rocks, I'll take some of that. I also want to look at like
Mhm.
the plants around the rocks, see if there's anything strange about them.
Yeah, I like that. So Victory, you're looking for traces.
Yeah.
Uh, Valve, you're starting
Uh,
to
aren't
pick
just
on these
shattered
plants.
bottles.
Yep.
yeah, I'm with Victory on that. I think I'd want to roll search and essentially see. I'm leaning back towards teleportation again, but she had to have dropped her phone somewhere. She was probably wearing shoes, but like trying to
Mhm.
find anything that she may have dropped around in the area.
If I've got a 70, do I got to roll?
Uh, no, we'll kind of continue with you two.
All right.
Your flashlights are going around this circle as you're looking. And Agent Valve, you are going through these stones and you're starting to scrape at like the plant material here. And it's it's pretty normal. Give me an alertness test, please.
I don't think that's very high either. Nope, just standard failure.
Mm-hmm. There's a fleeting feeling like a warm gust of wind. And it's already like warm, it's summer, it's cooling, but almost kind of like a salty breeze that wafts past you. And it's got kind of a like a rich soil sort of smell to it, but then it's
I
gone.
could I roll botany to see if it like I can narrow down what it smells like?
Oh, you can't place it. I think you
Okay.
have a pretty good botany is yeah, it's earthy. There's definitely plant material, and it's not what you're holding, but it's unfamiliar. Maybe some kind of seaweed or fern, maybe.
Yeah. I'm gonna kind of look in the direction where that breeze came from.
Looks like it came from the center of the spiral.
I will cautiously walk closer with my gun out. Like not out aiming, but
Hmm.
ready.
Down, walking closer. Give me another alertness.
Another failure.
You reach the middle, and you are feeling that warmth. It's almost like you're standing in sunlight, but all there is the moon shining down a little bit above you. And you can just almost hear like a faint buzzing, like a insect kind of buzz, like like something just buzzed by your ear, but you don't see anything in the dark.
Yeah. I'm gonna kind of look down at the dirt and kind of maybe scrape a bit of it up with my shoe, see if there's something underneath. And then depending on the success of that, I'm gonna look up and just kind of, you know, up at the moon, up at the stars.
I like it. Give me one more alertness test.
All right, this one's better. 17 under 20.
All right. The other two, stay put. You're not experiencing this at the moment. Agent Valve, you look up at the moon for a second and you start to feel that warmth on you. And you look back down and your eyes get that like when you were just staring at the sun, right? You
Hmm.
have like that spot and you kind of clear it. You are still within the stones, but the stones are clean now. And you are not on just a random hill. You are on maybe a tiny island that these stones are on, and there is warm water sloshing around you. There is all this plant life and like oysters and animal life that you don't even recognize. But you have biology, something like that.
Yes, yes, that and botany.
You're thinking as you're looking through this kind of thick air and you're breathing it in, it's got like a little bit of methane to it. Maybe late Paleozoic, maybe like during the Permian Triassic extinction, maybe. Like you're kind of filing this in the back of your
I'm
mind. What are you
I,
thinking?
I'm gonna roll sanity roll, and that's gonna determine my next action.
All right.
Okay, that is a failure.
Okay. We'll hold on to that for a second, but what do you think is your immediate reaction to this? As you're not handling it well.
Yeah, he's probably gonna start like, all right, I'm done here. Take me back, you know, looking around like
Hmm.
it's looking at the stones, but also just kind of like a bit panicking.
Yeah. And you're panicking, looking around, and the sun is your vision's returning, and the sun is there. And that spot you saw, you keep blinking, and the spot doesn't go away on the horizon. And you blink, and that dark spot in your vision seems to extend these long legs. You feel spider hit your mind, but that's not right. The scale of this thing is too too vast, and you're seeing the seaweed in the water that's been moving. You're clocking this as you're trying to look at this. The seaweed is moving towards this figure. It's ignoring the current completely, and you can feel now, dump, 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 dump. Your heart is matching a beat coming from the shape in the distance, and you feel almost this thread-like connection. And I want you to roll a d8 because of your failed sanity roll.
Okay, I will be happy to use this out on a bond.
Who's it gonna be?
Mhm.
Two. Two.
Okay.
Oh,
All
still
right.
six. But
Um,
And what's your d8 looking like?
I no, I lost two on the D8.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going
okay.
to project that at all?
Um, I will project it out on. I have a lot of bonds due to being a scientist, but I'll probably project it out on my daughter because I don't know. We watch a lot of movies together, and this might narrow down the field of movies we like watching together. No Jurassic Park for me.
Yeah. No annihilation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right. I'll roll a D4 on that. Um, I it's four, so
Okay.
I don't lose any. Is that how
Yeah.
it works? But I
Yes.
lose. Do I still lose four from her or
Yep.
two?
4 off the bond,
Okay.
4 willpower,
Yep.
and then
Oh,
no sanity in this case.
I haven't ever done this on the player side before, so
It's exciting.
yeah.
So, how does Valve react to this massive spider-ish shape on the horizon that you feel your heartbeat connected to?
This is kind of a. I feel like I'm here, right? This isn't just a
Hmm.
very vivid hallucination.
Yeah.
This is a once in a lifetime opportunity for me as scientist. I'm gonna take a picture of it,
Oh, I like that.
if possible.
You raise your phone, you're snapping.
And he kind of just puts it back and starts staring in like horrified wonder.
Hmm. I love it. And I'd like you to roll a sanity check as you are looking, and these buzzing insects start to swirl around you.
That is a pass.
Okay. Unfortunately, you only lose 0 san, which means your unnatural does not go up
Aw.
because it could have. Um, but these little bugs are flying past your vision, and they're also like those little blind spots, right? That kind of like vague blackness buzzing, and you snap forward, and you can feel millions of years, hundreds of millions, flash you forward into the presence, and you are flat on your back in the middle of this circle, graffiti covering it. What do you do?
Roll out of the middle of the circle. Just roll out of it. Like I'm not getting up. I'm still like probably more scramble out of it, but like get out of the circle.
Yeah, your foot hits like a bottle that was just there, sending it skittering, and the stones feel warm on your hands as you vault past them. The other two, you can hear like this sudden movement. What do you guys do?
What are you doing on the ground?
It's
Did you trip?
You all right?
it's that
I'll help
I
him up.
saw it. I was there. I have a picture.
Get up, brush yourself off. Let's see
Did
the
you eat
picture.
another hot dog?
I'm showing Victory the picture. I'm gonna first look to see if it's
Mhm.
there, but then I'm showing him it.
There is a picture on
What the
your
fuck?
phone, but there does need to be a sanity roll because he's talking, he saw this thing, right? How do you describe it, Valve, as you're like showing it off?
He's kind of like the black spots and then the, matching like the unity between nature and myself and it. And
Uh,
that's a pass on the sanity roll for me, but I don't know if
nice.
that's what.
Sanity for me?
Not for you, yes.
Oh.
Sanity for victory. Yes.
Oh,
Because he's describing like these
Oh, 19.
visions. Yeah. You don't take any
Okay.
sanity damage because what you see is a darkened room. There are, it looks to be a bedroom of some kind, maybe of a younger child,
A
and
teenager that might sign up to an occult website.
younger than teenager, maybe 10 or so.
How the hell did you get?
And no, it's stranger than that because this picture has blackout curtains in front of the windows. So you're not getting a lot of light out of this. There's just a little bit of like lines here and there. And then there is very clearly a hospital bed, and a young girl is lying mostly covered by blankets, and she's hooked up to all these monitors that you can see are just caught in an instant of this photo. And she's just staring directly at the camera.
Okay,
look,
that's weird, but that
looking,
can that's genius. The
looking.
pictures have location data.
I was gonna look at the time. What time? What's the date on the picture? This
Uh,
is
right now, like
okay.
just moments before.
That,
What does the your Google Maps data say? Did you teleport?
Google Maps, yeah, you
You
look at the
teleported?
locational information. It looks right around the same place that Robin disappeared. GPS is not 100% accurate, but you have that like rough area,
Where
it,
is
it,
this?
Alabama,
Okay, so
kind of
it
off
was
in
a it
the
was an island. It wasn't
no,
Alabama.
it's clearly a child's room, and she's obviously some kind of psychic, right?
I'm gonna
Psychic.
with
Maybe.
a lot of dread. I'm gonna feel my back.
Yeah, do
ooh,
we see bruises?
you're feeling, oh, you lift your shirt for a moment. No, no,
Hmm.
nothing like that. But you do feel for just a second, Valve, you're feeling your back and you look up and you see from your heart far just shooting off, kind of bouncing between trees, is a strange line. It's not light, it's not darkness, it's indescribable, but you have a connection to something, and it seems to be aiming southwest. And I want you to make a sanity roll.
That is a failure this time.
That makes complete sense because you are feeling this thing, this line going between the trees. And when you see it thumb like a guitar string and wiggle, you can feel something massive, some presence uh, pulling itself along the line. You think it sees you, it knows where it is, and you can feel that you're being pulled towards it. Roll a d20.
13. I will using on a bun do me any good.
Yeah,
My
absolutely. Would you like to?
it's gonna be my daughter again. Um,
Okay.
she plays the guitar too, so this is also gonna be
Why did we
traumatized.
yeah, why did we let her take guitar lessons? Why not
Yeah.
the drums?
Where did it go? I now I'm losing. I lost my D4. Could one of you roll it for me? I cannot find it now.
Yes. See how much Agent Valve's
I have a
relationship
weird
suffers.
D4.
Ooh, that's fun.
Won't
It's
kill
very
ya.
Matrix.
I'm pretty sure
Oh,
that was a
three.
gummy bear.
3?
Three. All
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
So
Well,
10. I'm still at
10,
my breaking point, but
awesome. 10 sanity, but gain 10 points of unnatural.
okay. What?
As and we'll kind of get to what exactly this feels like. You'll have a little bit of time to think about it as you just feel that thing pulling you closer, closer, and closer. Yeah. Come on down. And that will be it for this week's game of presents. Join us in 2 weeks, I suppose, for the recording while we continue.
Join
Thanks for
us next time.
next
Time
time.
not determined.
Ooh,
We'll
time
see.
is
Time's
just an
weird.
abstract.
Yeah. Millions of years have passed. It's
It's a
all
flat
good.
circle.
And then
Am I
they'll rubber band back.
am I canonically one of the oldest Delta Green agents now?
I think so. Yes, you know, your lifespan is millions and millions of years. It's up to you to determine if that's good or not. But all right. Thanks for watching an actual play It's Alive of Delta Green's Presence. Bye. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check out the RPG Reanimators podcast for horror scenario reviews, interviews, gaming discussions, and more.